Outlaw Law is brought to you by Whitaker and Hamer, attorneys and counselors at law. Your law firm for life.
Welcome back into the final segment of the Outlaw Lawyers. Josh Whitaker and Joe Hamer, managing attorneys at Whitaker and Hamer Law Firm, practicing attorneys here in the great state of North Carolina. Offices conveniently located Raleigh, Garner, Clayton, Goldsboro, Fuquay, Varina, and Gastonia. And our special guest in studio here is Cassandra Nicholas, also an attorney with Whitaker and Hamer. Closing up the show, Josh.
Yeah, I had an update or two I wanted to share. I saw on at least local media outlets, I don't know if you guys remember about a year ago, all me and Joe could talk about were spitting cobras. There was a zebra cobra on the loose in North Raleigh, and thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people watched on local media as city employees approached a house where we thought the zebra cobra may be. So someone had an exotic pet, it got away, and it haunted North Raleigh for a couple of days anyway. This little 8-inch, 9-inch cobra that was out there on the loose. We hadn't talked about it in a long time. Chris Gifford was the young man who's now 22. He was the young man who had a exotic snake collection that made him. I feel like this is the most we've ever talked about TikTok on one of our shows. But he was a TikTok. Would you say star, Cassandra?
I don't know what the threshold for that is.
Just a TikTok guy, man. I don't know
a trending TikTok star.
Trending snake handler TikToker with 110.
Big in the snake reptile community of TikTok. That's
exactly. It's a subset of TikTok famous. He has 110,000 followers on TikTok, so it's not nothing. More than I've got.
Right.
And 6 million views on his TikToks.
So he would. I think if I recall correctly, he would let them go in his backyard. He would kind of film them, and that was kind of his. He was creating. That was how he was creating content, And so one got away, and so he's kind of shown up to apologize. He had 40 misdemeanor charges. I think I can't remember what he pled to, but there was a reduced amount that he pled to, and he lost his snakes and his
75 of them. He had to surrender 75 snakes.
Yeah.
Yuck.
And then he had to pay some fines and what have you, but it's a year in the past, so he's coming forward now to apologize, and looks like he's prohibited from owning snakes again until maybe I think it was August, and so it looks like he intends to maybe venture back into the snake ownership platform when that.
Watch out, Raleigh.
Yeah. I got somebody local made a. I guess it was kind of off dodgeball, but they made a North Raleigh spitting cobras T-shirt that was kind of like a dodgeball reference. And I got one, but it doesn't fit me anymore. But it was a nice shirt. I liked it.
I bet you can fit into it.
I can get in there.
It may not fit you comfortably, but it'll get on your body.
So, guys, in this situation, if you're in you've been irresponsible with snakes, do you have to register as an irresponsible snake owner for future? Because if I lived in a neighborhood and I knew somebody had 75 snakes in their house, I'd have a problem.
I remember talking about it because I think the statute, I think on the state level, I think the statute was changed a little bit, because I think that's one of the things we did on the show back then is we looked at the statute, and we thought at the time was severely lacking. It didn't have a lot of penalty unless someone died from the exotic animal that got away. But I remember there being some changes to it, and I honestly didn't have time to look at it before we got on the air. But no, I think there is a registration type requirement now, but I'll have to look at that, Morgan. I don't recall what they changed. But yeah, it's something you'd want to know, right? If your neighbor was harboring 75 poisonous snakes.
I don't think there's a map.
There's not an app you can download.
Yeah.
In other North Carolina legal news, though, there was a case, and again, we're bouncing back between state court and federal court, but there was a case in the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, which is federal and it includes the state of North Carolina. But there was a case where a charter school had a dress code that required girls to wear skirts, and that was being challenged and was on appeal. And that decision came down, and the court. Cassandra, my understanding is the court found that you can't do that. That is a equal protection, probably a Title IX violation.
Title IX violation, gender-based discrimination. The court ruled 10-6. I'm actually surprised that it was. I mean, it's not closely split, but there were 6 people that said, "Yeah, you can force girls to wear skirts."
And so, that's a charter school. So charter schools in here, they talked about how a charter school gets its authority from the state. It's a state actor, similar to what a public school, right? Just a normal public school would be. And it seems cut and dry to me. But that was a case that came down too. I feel like we had another case that came down, but sadly, I see that we're out of time.
The Outlaw Lawyers, Josh Whitaker and Joe Hamer. Again, you can find them at Whitaker and Hamer Law Firm, managing partners there. Also, our special guest, an attorney at Whitaker and Hamer, Cassandra Nicholas, in studio with us today. If you've got a legal situation that you are facing and you have questions, you can always call the firm, 800-659-1186. That's 800-659-1186. Leave your contact information, briefly what that call's about. An attorney with Whitaker and Hamer will be in touch. You can always send your questions to the program. Email them, questions@theoutlawlawyer.com, and we will answer those on a future episode. Another one is in the books. We'll see you on the radio next week. This is The Outlaw Lawyers.